describe the win in one word, what would you say?
Gritty. We bent a little bit, but we didn't break. They hemmed us in a few times, but we defended well. And we hemmed them in, and it was a good college hockey game. It's a typical Beanpot game.
I'll just say amazing. First Beanpot win, first Beanpot Championship. It feels nice.
Yeah, I'd say unreal also. It doesn't feel real. I still don't know what's going on. It feels like a dream. Yeah.
Rich?
Hi, Aidan. Rich Thompson, Boston Herald. Was that a designed rush, or did you kind of improvise on your way in?
That was designed. I kind of usually have one or two things that I try to do in a shootout. Given the magnitude of the game and the nerves, I try to just keep it simple and kind of just read what the goalie's giving me. Shooting on this kid every day helps. So.
Take one in the back here.
Aidan, you said after last year's Beanpot that you wish you only got one. What was your reaction when you saw Fontaine get that one in the second period?
Yeah, that was huge. Kind of like our team this year, we just kind of need to get one, and then it gives everybody a spark. And to have for G to come out tonight and get one, and then get the second one to keep us in that is huge. Just kind of goes to show the type of player he is and how big he is for our team. But when we get one, it gives our team energy, it gives our team life, and then usually we'll find a way.
Right here in front.
It's Ian Thompson, NGN. Aidan, they had you bottled up for the first two periods. Tough to get a shot off, kind of. Maybe I'm going too far with it. How did you respond to that? Obviously, you were playing a physical game. Maybe found other ways to help the team. And then what did it mean to you to finally come through, have a chance finally at the end?
Yeah, I definitely, wouldn't say that was my best game by any means personally. A little bit frustrated. Wasn't really getting the touches that I normally get. They were being physical, and you just got to stick with it. Coach always talks about it's a 60-minute game. We have so many great guys in that locker room, so many leaders that talk to me personally, talk to the whole team. That I said in the locker room, and I always think you never know what shift or what play could win you the Beanpot. And so you just got to stick with it and play a full 60 minutes. This one went a little bit extra, but, I don't know. I just kind of had a feeling that my time was coming. I just had to stick with it and not get too frustrated.
Right here.
Coach Keefe, you alluded to it just a couple minutes ago, but so much of the crowd tonight was Northeastern fans. So for any one of you guys, what was that like playing for such a large crowd supporting you in such a big arena?
Yeah, I mean, we're down 2-1. We score a goal. This guy scores a huge goal. And the whole building's Northeastern fans going absolutely nuts. You could feel it in the rink, the energy. You could feel the other team. The pressure's on them now. We felt like we owned the building, and it was just time to get to work. And we just competed, and we did what we knew how to do, and we came out on top. So it's a great feeling, and the fans had a big part of that.
Right here to the right.
Devon, the last time you faced Harvard, you gave up 8 goals. How did you kind of come into this game knowing that last performance and readjust?
Yeah, looking ahead before the first Beanpot game, I wanted Harvard to beat BC. I wanted to see them in the finals again. They put on a clinic against me, and I wanted revenge, and the boys helped me get it tonight. So it felt really good, and credits to them. They played unbelievable in front of me today.
Go ahead, Rich.
Hi, Rich Thompson, Boston Herald. Gunnar, was those just two of the most opportunistic goals you ever scored?
Yeah, they were just two great plays by two teammates of mine, Jaden Struble and Sam Colangelo. They set me up in front, and I was lucky enough to just get some empty netters there.
Devon, your first Beanpot, obviously. Were you nervous coming into it at all, or were you set, just a normal game?
Yeah, everyone says how big the Beanpot is, but I didn't realize it until I was here. Standing in the ice in my blue crease and looking around, seeing all the fans go crazy, seeing a packed NHL rink, it's a really cool feeling. It's something you don't get to do every day. In fact, it's probably something you only get to once in your life with a crowd like that. College hockey is such an amazing experience, let alone the Beanpot, let alone winning the Beanpot. So we're just all super happy. It's a dream. My first experience with Northeastern was coming to watch the Beanpot, and being here with the win, with the Beanpot in our hands is crazy. It's a crazy feeling.
Andrew Mahoney, Boston Globe. Dev, that was quite a trio that they rolled out for the shootout. Did that affect how you approach? Are you normally that aggressive coming out that far when there's a shootout?
Yeah, I try to play everyone the same. I know guys have different tendencies and preferences, but I just try to stay patient and just see what they're giving me, try to read them. And, they're good players, so I was excited to face them and, see what they got in hand.
Gunnar, on that second goal, obviously, it was a great play by Struble to sort of set you up there. What was that like for your entire team defensively to come through in this game, especially the senior leadership, and then to have Jaden be able to feed you that one to tie it up?
Yeah, I know. We were saying in between the second and third period that we just needed one to get that tied up, and it was going to be our game. They were just going to tighten up, and they were going to be playing scared. As soon as we got that one, it shifted on our bench. You could just tell that we were walking away with that game.
Here, right.
For Aidan, Greg Dudek, Devon keeps on mentioning that it's a dream for him come true. I mean, for you, Milton kid, what's kind of going on through your mind as you scoring the shootout and, you kind of looking back on your childhood attending these games and, walking off the ice with one more Beanpot title in hand?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to hit me, for a little bit, how amazing it is. And, my freshman year, I was lucky enough to be a part of a great team that was able to win it. But for the last 4 years to go to battle every day with my best friends, and to have the best coaching staff and the best support staff in the country, in my opinion, it means everything. And I told the guys before the game, the Beanpot doesn't matter who's on whose team. It comes down to whoever wants it more. It's got to mean more to us than it does to them. And I think if you looked around the building tonight, it looked like it meant a little bit more to us. So I think just a dream come true, and I don't think it's going to hit me for a little bit.
John Powers, Boston Globe coach. Looking at this final, first time these two teams have ever met, the quality of not just this game, but all four teams, those games are all in doubt. What does it say about the equity now in this tournament, where you don't have the BCBU dominance that you did, where you guys are now won 4 out of 5 and Harvard's in the final now?
Yeah, it speaks to how good all 4 teams are, because I think all 4 teams could win it. Both games tonight, outstanding. Even the consolation game was a really good game. BU, it was the top-ranked team coming in, and they lost 2. But it goes to show how good BC Harvard are, too. So, the Beanpot, it's anyone's game. You got to come in, you got to play really well to win this tournament. I mean, I hate to say it, but I can see why it took so long for Northeastern to win one. It's not an easy tournament to win.
Right here in front, Jerry.
Jerry, what kind of leadership did you get out of McDonough tonight? Because the game's not going quite the way he would like it to. He had that big hit in the third period, maybe a bit of more of a facilitator in this game. What did you see from him through the guts of this game?
To be honest with you, I didn't even think of it that way. When I was looking down the bench and Dunzo was fresh, he was going. I think myself and his teammates and everyone else has that much confidence in him. He was going to do whatever it took to win a game tonight, whether it was finding a way to score a huge goal, which he did in the shootout, defend, whatever he had to do. He had some looks on the power play. He had actually a really good look in the second period where it hit a skate. He had an open net. He was doing everything he could. Hey, that's a good hockey team over there. So both teams defended really well tonight. I think the offenses are good on both teams, but I thought both teams checked really well too.
Right here in front, Jerry.
Coach Keefe, there was only one penalty tonight. You guys have had some trouble with discipline throughout this season. So what does this mean to you closing in on the last few games of the year?
Yeah, we talked about discipline being a key. We knew Harvard's got a really good power play. So I thought the officials did a great job tonight, letting the teams compete, letting the teams play. And you saw how dangerous they were because they got one on the power play. But, yeah, that was a huge key, to play hard between the whistles and make sure we weren't taking careless penalties, but still playing with the motion, but doing it the right way.
Right here, Coach.
Coach, Greg Dudek with Nesson. Obviously, back and forth game, kind of an epic game too. Just kind of what's your thoughts on seeing a game of this magnitude get decided by a shootout?
That's a good question, but there's no sense even talking about it. It's the rules, so that's all we can do. I don't have a vote. I don't make the rules, so we played the overtime 3-on-3, and nobody scored. It goes to a shootout. Everybody knows that coming in. So we just stuck to it, and we were able to find a way to win the shootout.
Coach in back here.
Yeah, hey Coach. Tighter defense today than in the past game on January 1st. Did you try to adjust a little bit to the way Harvard played you guys back then in this one?
Yeah, we're a different team than when we played them. There's no question. We're a different team, and we've figured out, I think, what we have to do to have success. And we went through a little tough stretch there. We were without some defensemen. We've got the 3 seniors back in our lineup, and you could see how much they mean to our group. So I felt like we didn't put a lot on that loss because we didn't play a great game. I didn't think we didn't defend very well that night. So it was all about coming in and playing similar to what we did last week against BU, and really kind of what we've done the last 8 or 9 games now. And just sticking to that 60-minute, staying together, and it worked out for us.
Cool. Rich?
Rich Thompson, Boston Herald. Jerry, they call this the start of trophy season. How do you seize this momentum and bring it to March?
Yeah, this group's they've got big goals. We've talked about that going into the season. We like our team a lot. We've got a battle in front of us. Every game's a playoff game for us moving forward. But you want to be playing your best hockey this time of year, and the stretch that we've had, we've got a lot of confidence right now.
Coach, in the end of the third, you had a pretty extended timeout period. You took one, and then so did Harvard. What was it that you were saying to the boys during that time?
We had a little time there, so we figured we'd try to draw something up on the face-off. So the timeout was going to go to waste if you don't use it. We had 15 seconds, so we figured we'd try to run something off the draw, and Harvard did the same thing when they saw how we lined up. They were going to try to defend it. So
we'll take 2 more questions for Coach right here in the middle.
Hey, Coach. Aaron Schuckman with the Harvard Crimson. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Obviously, Harvard has a lot of talent in the top 6, not as much talent in the bottom 6, and they're dealing with some injuries down there. Were there any matchups you were looking to exploit going down the stretch to get an advantage off the face-off or anything like that?
Good question. I actually thought Harvard's bottom 6 played really well tonight, though. You know what? You're always looking at matchups. I think it's in-game adjustments. Some guys are going a little bit better. Some guys are, hot in the face-off circle. Sometimes you're going with some veterans, things like that. But we really do have confidence. We've got a lot of depth in our lineup right now. We don't have a 4th line. We don't have a number 6 defenseman. So we feel like we can utilize our depth against anyone.
We'll take one last one in the back here, Coach.
Matthew Pani, you obviously elevated him midway through this game, giving him a lot of run with Ritzkovian, and scored against Providence twice. Sort of what have you seen from him in recent weeks, and that gave you the confidence to give him that boost up onto that top line midway through this game?
Yeah, just what you said. I mean, he scored 2 huge goals at Providence. I really liked how he scored them. They were gritty, going to the net. I felt like that line just, he was going to get to the dirty areas tonight to try to open something up, I think, for Dunzo and Ritzy there. So just a little bit of, he's playing good hockey right now, trying to get him a little more ice time. And like I said, you just get a feeling some guys are going pretty good, and they got a hot stick, and you're trying to go with them.